In the mid-20th century, a new and terrifying force emerged, the atomic bomb. Its destructive power reshaped global politics and instilled a profound fear in populations worldwide. The United States, having witnessed the dawn of the nuclear age, quickly realized the need for civilian preparedness. The Federal Civil Defense Administration, or FCDA, was established in 1951. Its earliest and most memorable campaign was Duck and Cover. Bert the Turtle, a cartoon character, taught children how to react if an atomic blast struck their town. In schools across America, air raid drills became routine. Children practiced hiding under their desks, shielding themselves from an imagined nuclear flash. FCDA films and pamphlets educated the public on everything from building backyard fallout shelters to stockpiling emergency supplies. Survival was presented as a personal responsibility. Millions of Americans considered and many built these private bunkers. Stocked with food, water, and first aid, they were a desperate attempt to create a safe haven. Beyond private efforts, a network of public fallout shelters was designated. Marked by iconic yellow and black signs, these spaces were meant for community refuge. These shelters were equipped with basic necessities, food rations, medical kits, and sanitation supplies. The hope was to endure the immediate aftermath, then rebuild. The CONELRAD system, short for Control of Electromagnetic Radiation, was established in 1951. It ensured that emergency broadcasts could reach the public even during an attack. Air raid sirens were installed in cities and towns nationwide. Regular tests, usually on the first Monday of each month, were a stark reminder of the ever-present danger. Nationwide exercises like Operation Alert simulated massive nuclear attacks. These drills involved government agencies, emergency services, and thousands of volunteers. Civil defense volunteers, identifiable by their helmets and armbands, practiced rescue missions, first aid, and fire suppression, preparing for the chaos a nuclear strike would unleash. Advertisements for home shelters, survival kits, and even private radiation detectors appeared in magazines and newspapers. Commerce capitalized on fear. President John F. Kennedy, in his 1961 address, urged every American family to build a fallout shelter. This intensified the civil defense effort and public anxiety. Across the Iron Curtain, the Soviet Union faced the same nuclear threat, prompting its own extensive civil defense program. The concept was known as Гражданская оборона, or GO. Unlike the often individualized U.S. approach, the Soviet system emphasized mass mobilization and collective action. It integrated civil defense deeply into society. Millions of Soviet citizens underwent mandatory training. They learned to don gas masks, wear protective suits, and navigate contaminated areas. Evacuation plans for major cities were meticulously drawn. Factories, schools, and collective farms all participated in large-scale drills. Subway systems, particularly Moscow's iconic metro, were designed to double as deep bomb shelters, offering protection from both blast and fallout. Soviet propaganda posters promoted vigilance and readiness. Slogans like "Be ready for defense" reinforced the constant need for preparedness. Children were taught from an early age, often through organizations like the Pioneers. They practiced first aid and survival skills alongside their academic lessons. The Cuban Missile Crisis of October 1962 pushed both superpowers to the brink of nuclear war. For 13 days, the world held its breath. This global confrontation underscored the horrific reality of nuclear conflict. Civil defense efforts intensified on both sides, becoming a top priority. Yet, as the Cold War years passed, public skepticism grew. Many began to question whether survival from a full-scale nuclear exchange was truly possible. Anti-nuclear movements gained traction in the West. Activists argued that preparation normalized the unthinkable, advocating for disarmament instead.
Films like The War Game and Threads starkly depicted the brutal aftermath of a nuclear strike, challenging the efficacy of civil defense measures.
By the 1980s, the focus shifted from survival to deterrence. The arms race continued, but the idea of winning a nuclear war seemed increasingly futile.
The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War. The existential threat diminished.
Today, many of these civil defense structures stand abandoned. Public fallout shelter signs fade on old buildings. Forgotten bunkers crumble underground.
Yet these relics serve as powerful reminders of an era defined by fear, resilience, and humanity's collective struggle to prepare for the unthinkable. The Cold War's civil defense initiatives were a stark mirror to a world living under the mushroom cloud. They reveal the extraordinary lengths to which nations and citizens went. Not to fight, but simply to survive. It was a unique, often terrifying chapter in human history, forged in the shadow of atomic power, forever shaping the global consciousness.